Hi, I'm John Barnes and you're watching Redmen TV.
Hello, welcome to Redmen TV. It's the Uncensored match build-up show. Liverpool taking on Sion in the Europa League on Thursday night. Of course, Chris Pajak's here, John Machin's here, and Aubrey Reynolds is here as well. Chris, let's get stuck straight in. Has the defeat to Newcastle changed your thinking on how Liverpool should approach this game?
No, I don't. No, not really. I think Aubrey hit on something in the final word show, which is available on the redmentv.com. It's £2 a month. You know the score. It's free for the first month. But Aubrey made the point actually really interestingly that these games are sort of planned in advance. So I think Klopp already knows the side for the Sion game. Yeah. I think he already knows who will be travelling, who won't be travelling, and then West Brom on Sunday is going to be the game where, I'd imagine a few of the bigger players will be playing. I think that Sturridge will probably be missing this trip completely.
Wow.
Won't be travelling at all. Have a full week. Don't want him travelling over to Switzerland or whatever. Have a full week at Melwood and then literally start the game on Sunday. So I don't think his plans will have changed.
It's interesting because I think in terms of, ultimately, I don't think he'll take this game easy in any way, shape or form. I don't think it's in his makeup.
I originally thought, once we qualified, that this was a real opportunity for him to rest everyone. Playing 2 games a week in, week out was a lot. I've changed my mind now. I do think he'll go there knowing that a win will be good for the team, good for the fans. I personally like to see Henderson get a game.
Yeah.
I think I really want him back in the side as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And he's going to get minutes on the pitch first before he can really consider.
See, this is I agree in this regard, as I think we'll see a similar thing where we'll see a couple of players get a game that maybe we wouldn't have done. But the problem is that I think players like Sturridge and players like Henderson need to actually get match fitness back, don't they? And I wouldn't be surprised. It's a weird. I
could see Henderson going because I think he's much further away from fitness.
Yeah.
Whereas Sturridge, I think he's played 90 minutes in the last 180, so I think he's much closer.
Yeah.
He played 60 minutes and he's played half an hour.
Yeah.
So I think he's much closer. I think a full week training for Sturridge is the right call. I agree with you on Henderson though. I do think that's a game where you bring him on for 60 minutes and you give him that. People like Randall will play, I think. Yeah. I think it'll be very similar to the Southampton side. I think Origi's got to start up front in this game.
Yeah, I think the thing we've got at the minute is that having lost to Newcastle, there's a real feeling of keeping the positivity going as well. And it's not like if we didn't win this game, like it would all come crashing down or what have you. But 2 defeats. If you end up not winning this game, what that does to you psychologically going into the weekend, I do think that maybe we might. Like I say, I think he probably would have gone for it anyway because I just think that's how he is.
Don't you think though that that's a sort of negative slant to put on it in the first instance? Because you're saying, well, if you start Randall and Origi, you're thinking, oh, we're gonna go out there and lose. Whereas we smashed Southampton with those players in the team. I don't think he'll be spinning it like that. He'll be spinning it like, lads, it's your chance to go out there and prove yourself on a European level now. Yeah. No, go out there, get the win, put the confidence back into the squad. I'm putting everything on you guys, and it's my time to trust you guys, as opposed to a negative like, oh, we don't want to put you in because we want to keep the positivity going. No, I think the way that Klopp will be playing it is more, here's your opportunity, lads, go and do it. Yeah. This is a big game for you in your career.
Yeah, I'm not saying it in terms of the personnel at all. I mean, just from the fans' perspective, more that regardless of who you play, doesn't matter who you play. You play your best 11. The fact of the matter is that in terms of how you approach and how much you go out there and go and leave nothing on the pitch kind of thing like that. I think there's an added importance to this game now that there wouldn't have been if we'd picked up the point against Newcastle, because ultimately, if you beat Newcastle, there's a little bit less pressure on you because you just don't want to lose 2 games. You don't want to run the risk of losing 2 games back to back. Whereas I think there was that mentality of, I think it would have been easier to go into this one, as you say, going, what, the group's done. Maybe we can actually take our foot a little bit off the pedal on this one. Everyone get themselves prepared.
I think he'll be thinking more long term and go, this is we might lose 2 games in a week. I don't think he'll be thinking it like that. I think this is the side that I am picking to win this game. I believe in these players to go out there and win this game, you know, and I think he's done that over the last 3 to 4 weeks. He's picked his sides well on the whole and for the opposition and with the future in mind. I think long term, still is the game where you've got to rest some players because it's actually the one where the result doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we can forget that.
Yeah, well, we were saying prior to film, weren't we, up that Sion will be coming out to win.
Well, they have to, don't they, because of the head-to-head with Ruben. So I stand by what I would have said if we'd have smashed Newcastle. Exactly what you've just said. The minute that we sewed it up with the home game against Bordeaux, we were qualified. This was a given. We have to just turn up. We have to feel the team. But he's complained, as most foreign managers come in, about the schedule. You know, he hasn't had a chance to catch a breath. 2 games a week. It's pretty much been 2 games a week for him every week he's been there, hasn't it? Or as players have disappeared on this lovely international duty. Yeah. So he's never had that chance to just have a gap or give them a rest.
He's not going to either, as he said himself, that during the break in Germany, his team in Liverpool are going to play 10 games. Yeah. While his ex-players, they're all texting him apparently, having a laugh that he's...
What are you doing for Christmas? Working.
Christmas, we're at the English markets in Germany.
He knows there's no respite from it, you know, unless you get beat in a couple of cups. Yeah. And then you find yourself with a few free weeks. But I mean, if Sion are going to come out and attack us, I think Klopp will think, well, we can win this. And I think he may well play a side that will get behind them like we did at City and Southampton and Chelsea. And I think Origi probably is full of confidence at the moment. So, you know, I'm hoping he gets a run.
So, two questions then. First and foremost, and I'll start with you, Rob. Is there anyone you'd like to see get a game in this one?
There's no outsiders, is there, anymore? Because, like, obviously, Teixeira isn't registered. So he would have been the one, but he's not registered for Europe, so he can't come in. I think he'll make 7 changes from the Newcastle, 6 or 7. It'll go back to similar to the Swansea. I think he'll drag a lot of those players who need a rest out.
Southampton, mate.
So back to the Southampton, yeah. So Randall will start, whether he starts, whether it means Moreno gets a break and Klein starts, or the other way around, I'm not sure. I want Henderson. Henderson needs game time, he needs to start a match. Chan could probably go because he didn't play against Newcastle because he was suspended. So Henderson, Chan, I'll get a look at what that's like as a midfield. Origi's got to start as well. Give him a break. Yeah. Get that.
The other one is how bad Skrtel. You know, is Torre coming in for Skrtel?
I think Torre's going. Yeah, I think Torre will come in for Skrtel as well.
I think Torre's nailed on to start.
Yeah, he really has.
If there's any doubt about him, just listen.
The other thing is, and I've only just thought of this now when you were talking, is does Brad Smith come in and Klein that keeps his place?
Well, I was saying in terms of the fullbacks, like we rested Klein, didn't we, against Southampton? It makes sense to rest Moreno if you've got the opportunity to do it. Keep Klein in on the other side. Go one at a time rather than completely run the risk of making 2 changes or 3 changes actually.
It's interesting actually because is Smith young enough to play in Europe, or is he over the age where you have to register them?
That's a great question. I don't know the answer to that. If he's there, you go. Anyone watching who knows the answer to that? Because someone's a smart ass. They will know the answer to that. Let us know in the comments below. Probably worth looking into that before any kind of.
It literally popped into my head right then and there.
Yeah,
so, you know, I've got no filter.
I hope he is. I hope he's available for it because I'd like to see, you know, a good little cameo in last week, wasn't it? It'd be great to see him get a little bit more of an opportunity because we do need cover for those fullback positions, don't we?
I'll tell you one who I actually would like to see, and it kind of goes against what I've been saying so far. Firmino needs to play himself into a bit of form. In some way.
I can't see that Lallana doesn't start this game.
I know, but I just want to see Lallana in the league.
Yeah, but having not started against Newcastle, I think Lallana will start every game that as many games as he's physically capable of being.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's. I mean, again, because Coutinho's probably you can't see Coutinho being risked if he's not been. If he wasn't fit enough to even be involved at the weekend. You see, try and get him ready for West Brom, and then your options are a little bit more limited as a result, I guess. You're right. I hope Firmino does because. He needs to.
I wouldn't mind seeing that 4-1-2-1-2 with Firmino and Origi up front or something like that. You know, something just a little bit different.
A bit more mobile.
Yeah. Because I don't want to go over there and see Origi up top on his own. I've seen that a few times this season, and that hasn't worked.
The thing I was going in my head, I'd start Origi Benteke, because he needs a goal. Benteke, he needs to he had a bad performance. Whether you think it was down to the team not giving him the service or not, he's a forward who missed a really good chance who didn't score. And Origi plays better when he's got someone alongside him. So it's throwing both of them under the bus.
Play Benteke and Origi and say the one of you plays
Who's
best.
partner in Sturridge
started the weekend. Yeah. I think it's a very good shout. And then
this is management by committee.
And then we'll play one up front. We'll play Sturridge on his own up front, and it'll be rubbish. Okay, so anyone you think that absolutely needs to miss out on this game? Sturridge?
Yeah, definitely for me. I wouldn't take him.
Milner?
I don't know. I'm torn whether to play Chan as well, to be honest, or whether to bring him back in for the Premier League game. I know he's just had a game off because of his suspension, but yeah, tough one. Alan's probably not going to start, is he? Because he's just played 2 games in a week. So I can't imagine him playing
I think
in that game.
he's set to start because he's definitely not starting against West Brom at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose it's an interesting one, isn't it? I mean, again, great that we've got no idea. Genuinely, because you're right, because as far as I'm concerned, Joe Allen doesn't get back into that. He probably isn't playing a game for Liverpool until the FA Cup in January after Thursday.
If everyone's fit, yeah.
If everyone's fit, if you've got Henderson, Lucas, Milner, Chan available, where does Joe Allen fit into there? The answer is he just doesn't, does he? But which is a shame because he's been fine his last couple of games. I think he's been pretty decent. But wouldn't surprise me to see him play this. To go for the full 3, as it were. Yeah. Interesting. Any more shouts? Shouldn't play.
Ibe.
Yeah. Reason?
Don't need to. No. I don't know. I just think his final delivery against Newcastle at the weekend wasn't good enough, and I don't know whether that's down to him being a little bit jaded because he hasn't played a lot of football, and then he's played a lot of football. And whether now's the time to give him a bit of a break and maybe, or if you're going to use him as an impact sub where he's had great effect when he's come on recently.
I think if you're playing 2 up front, there's no place for them anyway, is there? So it'd be an interesting one. I think it's Brent. Dad, have you got any more suggestions?
No, not at all, really. I have no clue, really, as to what side he's going to play. And to be honest, I don't care, because I do trust that, for the most part, he'll get it right. So. Yeah. And I think it's not a game where our weaknesses are going to be evident, because they're not going to sit back. Mm-hmm. They're going to come and try and win it, and that will give us loads of space. And so I'm looking forward to a win. Okay,
score predictions, Aubrey?
1-0 to us.
3-1.
I think if Kolo Toure is starting, it's going to be 2-1.
Really?
Yeah. Because we'll concede.
Because of Kolo? Kolo's imperious in the Europa League. It's
but there's also times where he just doesn't look like a footballer.
That's normally when he gets injured in the first 5 minutes and goes off, yeah. No, I don't mind that. One of my highlights of the last couple of months was his lung-busting run from defence.
That was impressive, in fairness.
That was great. I would go for 1-0 or 2-1. I think it'd be nice just to do it. You know what I mean?
Batter them aside.
Yeah, be sound. I don't think we're gonna batter them or anything But to be fair though, probably our second best performance of the season was Ruben Kazan away, and if we could replicate that again, it's just I think in terms of the confidence that it builds in your side to go there and actually go, right, well, no, we're just going to go and let's not worry about this. We're going to go there. We're going to do everything in our power to wipe these off the face of the earth and then prepare for West Brom off the back. So fingers crossed anyway. Let us know your score predictions in the comments below. Who do you think should miss out on this game? Who do you think should definitely start? All those, as I said, in the comments below. Give the video a thumbs up. We asked on the last build-up for 2,000 likes, and me and Chris would sing a duet of...
Did we ask for 2,000? I thought we didn't ask for 1,000.
Yeah, we asked
you got 3,500 though, so you cleared any total.
From 6,000 views.
Yeah, we had. We asked for 2,000 likes to just sing a duet of Frozen from Frozen's Let It Go on the Christmas.
If you want to add tiaras to that duet,
go back
3,000 likes on this under.
So check that. The Christmas special will be coming in the week building up to Christmas. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you soon. Ta-ra.
The camera's there, but if you play it in, and then you kind of just use the pace of the ball, and it's like a Cruyff turn, I suppose.
Yeah.
But it's best when you're kind of on the back pedal. So if I'm running, if I'm running backwards and you pass it to me when I'm running backwards, you kind of just take it
Very nice.
in your stride.
Go ahead. Switch.
Come on then, you get in there.
Well, I'm left foot.
You right? On your left Ian, yeah? So jog backwards and then kind of just take it.
Stop. Yeah.
Oh, nearly. See,
Started a bit
you
closer
can do it that way.